What's up, everybody? Nerdish Geek here, and today I am sitting in my recliner because my back hurts. Oh my god. And I'm using my cell phone to videotape this because the tablet is just crap, and hopefully I will be getting a computer soon, so cross your fingers. I wanted to do this video because I felt like I haven't done a review in a long time, and I haven't done a vlog review for a while, so I thought I would do it on this because this I really have a lot to say about. But back a while ago, my husband had started watching a TV show, and I didn't watch it with him. And he was really into it, and still is, very much into it, and wanted me to start watching it. Well, because I didn't start when he did, it was really difficult to find the episodes that I would need to watch to catch up, like season 1. Unfortunately, it's not a show that's on Netflix. And although it's on Hulu Plus, it's the current season, and the older seasons they don't have, so it's kind of like a moot point. And we were at the library the other day, I'm going to say probably a week or so ago, and my husband saw it and freaked out. He was like, oh my god, they got season 1. So I was like, alright, we'll get season 1. Thankfully, it was a 3-week rental, and it's 5 discs. And so last night, we started watching Grimm. And I kind of really hope that flips it around for you when you watch it, because, yeah. So, as you can see, it's season 1, 5 discs, and we did get it from the library, which is pretty cool. So, we started watching it last night, and I watched 4 episodes. 4 episodes into season 1, and I was done. I ain't even gonna lie. I'm done. I just felt like the show as a whole was lacking so much. And by that, I mean, when you watch any other supernatural show, and I'll use Supernatural as an example, when Dean and Sam come up against monsters, demons, or what have you, they have to research what they are if they don't already know, okay? So what you're looking at is a lot of times, like in the first few seasons, in the first few episodes even, you'll see, Sam in front of his computer researching, or, reading books on stuff, or asking other hunters, or referring to their father's journal to try to figure out what these monsters are, why they're doing what they're doing in some cases because they don't know, and how to kill them or how to stop them. And you get kind of a backstory on each different entity that they encounter. Now, they do that in an hour. They figure out what's doing it. They figure out what it is, why it's doing it, how to kill it, how to stop it, and they do it in an hour. This show introduces you to new monsters. Don't explain why they are the way they are. Don't explain where they came from. Don't explain why they're doing what they're doing. Don't explain why they're there. Just, they're there. They don't even explain how it is that he's supposed to kill them or stop them. And I've noticed that a simple bullet will kill him, which I find odd. Now, the main character, that dude, I don't know his name, didn't pay attention, don't really care. He's a Grimm, and he starts seeing people in their, I'm going to say monster form. There's a name for him, I don't know. Doesn't say on here. Anyway, doesn't say on there. But anyway, there's all these different monsters. And then there's Monroe, the guy that turns into a werewolf. That's like his his consultant. He helps him. And sometimes Monroe will give a backstory. Sometimes Monroe will say, well, they came from this area and they're da-da-da-da. But that's rare, and it was only in 1 episode, I think. He never questioned the fact that he was seeing these people as creatures. Never, if I'm sorry, if I just all of a sudden started seeing people shapeshift into very hideous or scary looking creatures, I would probably commit myself. But it's almost as if he was like second nature. You know, he kind of had that like dumbfounded look on his face, and that was it. So that didn't make sense to me. And then his Aunt Marie shows up, and she raised him, and he goes into her camper after she passes, or while she's in the coma, I don't remember. Anyway, and he realizes that she has all this hunting stuff, and she's been hunting these things and killing these things, and that's what they're supposed to do. And okay, great, wonderful. She has a book that, you know, is like of the lore of all these things, and it kind of tells you about them, shows you what they look like. She's drawn pictures, things like that. But every time he's looking in this book, we get tidbits of it. It's not like we're hearing what he's reading. It's not like it's like a voiceover, what he's reading. We're not learning anything about these monsters. Now, something happens. Child gets abducted. Okay, great, wonderful. This coincides with another case. Okay, great, wonderful. All of a sudden, he's super cop because he has this werewolf guy that can sniff out anything. He finds the guy for him, and then he just happens to be in the right place at the right time, and nobody asks any questions. Nobody is like, how did you know? And when they do ask that question, which doesn't happen, but it's kind of implied, it's like, oh, I had a hunch. Now all of a sudden he is super cop. He is solving crimes and nobody's asking why or how. How did he know to be there at that moment? It's like, really? My thoughts exactly, Rhett. Shut up, Rhett. So what happens? The show just goes on, and we keep getting introduced to new monsters, and we don't know any more about them than I honestly think that you needed to have some sort of working knowledge of this stuff going into this show. I do remember some of the Grimm brothers fairy tales from back years ago, but I don't remember them quite like this, and I know this is kind of like an adaptation or based on or whatever, but honestly, I think the writing is lacking a lot. I think that there is so much missing from this. I think they had a really good idea in theory, but it was executed poorly. I believe that it could have been so much better written. So much better. And I'm gonna totally give this 1 star. I just think it's poor. I think there's nothing really. I mean, in my brain, okay, in my reality, when I'm watching a show, I want to know the questions, the who's, the what's, the where's, the why's, the how's, okay, and I want to know, why are they all in Portland, Oregon? Does that ever get answered? Are they anywhere else in the world? And you would think within the first few episodes, these questions would have been answered. Because you're introducing your audience to new characters, people we've never, like, I've never seen any of these people. Like, I see a couple that I recognize from other shows, like, random characters, but the main characters, I don't know any of them. I don't recognize any of them, and that might be because I'm not really paying that close attention to them, but you're introducing your audience to new characters, to new monsters, new ideas, new things that go bump in the night, and yet you can't give us the satisfaction of saying, this is why. I mean, does season 1 just continue on like this with, like, just random monsters and, like, super cop crap happening? Because I honestly believe that at some point somebody needs to ask a question. And there's only a few people that know he's a Grimm and what he can do, what he can see. And I guess from what my husband says, he does meet other Grimms as the show progresses. He should have been looking them up already. Once he realized what he was, wouldn't your next step be to go to a computer and type it in? I mean, he just kind of is like, Oh, okay. Just makes no sense. And there's no explanation. None. So I'm really having a hard time with this one. I've downloaded a season 1 and 2 companion thing, and it kind of breaks down all the monsters, the Grimms. It kind of gives you the backstory that the show doesn't. And honest to God, I should not have to get a book to tell me what I should be learning in the show. There should have been no reason for that book. Like, I understand that sometimes, they release companions to certain shows or movies. But in those companions, like my CSI companion, it gives me like a breakdown of each of the characters, where they came from, blah, 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 blah. All the stuff that I already know because I've watched the show. It might give you a few extra things that you don't know, but the show has already introduced us to all the characters. We should know where they came from. We should know why they're doing what they're doing, the decisions that they make, why they make the decisions they do. This show gives us none of that. And now all of a sudden it's like I need to read a book in order to understand what's going on. Why? Why couldn't you just be better at writing the show? Why couldn't you do a pilot episode that introduced us to this new idea instead of just jumping right into the first case? Introduce us to him, his family, what they do, how they got that way, why they do that. And then in the next episode, introduce us to the other people. The monsters. Give us each monster, but give us a backstory on them. Tell us why they're there. Why are they in Portland, Oregon? Like, do they not exist anywhere else? Give us a backstory. Tell us, say, hey, this person, this monster's here because it's a safe haven, or it seems to be a safe area, or people don't tend to ask questions here, or there was never any Grimms here prior. I mean, anything would be better than what we were given. That's all I'm saying. And his partner, his cop partner, doesn't question him calling him in the middle of the friggin' night and is like, oh, meet me out here in the middle of the frickin' woods and we're gonna walk through a creek even though there's a bridge right there and there's a cabin right here. What are we doing here? Oh, well, I have reason to believe he's connected with the case. How in the hell did you come to that conclusion? This guy doesn't know that you have a werewolf in your back pocket. And unless you want to tell him, you're going to have to come up with some pretty good stories for why you happen to be in the right place at the right damn time. But no. Just go along with it. It's out there. And I don't see anybody with a half a brain being able to comprehend what is going on in this show or being able to keep up with it, because the way my brain works, I'm missing so much that it's like my IQ dropped. Like, I don't know if you gotta dumb it down more because I'm just not catching the gist, or if maybe I require a lot more stimulation. I require a lot more thought. I require a lot more, story and plot thickening and things like that than just 1, 2, 3, 4, done. So, I can't say that I like the show. I can't say that I'm even moderately interested in it anymore. I will give it through the next disc, just for my husband's sake, and only because I don't think 4 episodes in is really fair. So I will go through the next disc. I think disc 2 has 3 episodes on it, if I'm not sure. Oh no, it has 5. So I will give it the next 5 discs, and maybe we'll see. I don't know, but I will definitely keep you updated. So yeah, let me know what you think of the show. Agree, disagree, whatever. I'm open for healthy civil discussion, and let me know what shows you like. By the way, but we are gonna start on season 2 of Heroes, and really, really like that show a lot. So, really getting into that, and I'm going to actually start watching Firefly. I've been meaning to, and just get like caught up into other stuff and starting to watch other stuff. So it was one of those movies that kind of sat back on the back burner. And Farscape is another one that I need to start watching. I have seen a few episodes of Farscape, but not enough to say that I've, watched the show. I have watched it, I just haven't watched it in depth, so I'll get into that. But anyway, that's my review on Grimm, and yeah. So leave a comment down below.